Hey everybody, it's Yoko Experience back with another video, and yes, you read the title right. We are doing a book review on the book Perfect Peace. Before we get into the book, if you are not subscribed to my channel, just hit the subscribe button and be a part of the Yoko Experience. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every single time I upload. Okay, you guys, we're gonna get into some of the specs about this book. This book is called Perfect Peace, and it is by Daniel Black. He is an African-American author, as you can see on the back of the book. Also, before I get into it, I read this book about a year ago, so I'm kind of going off of my memory about what happened. If I do miss out on some things and you guys want to talk about them, please leave them down in the comment section, but don't drag me because, like I said, I might forget some names, I might forget some things, but please do correct me in the comments, but don't try it. Okay, we're gonna talk about Perfect Peace. Okay, you guys, this book has 341 pages. It's not a bad read. It's definitely a little bit of a page turner, so let me tell you about this book. This book is about a little girl named Perfect who has 6 older brothers, and you know, she has her mother and her father. This book is in the time period of Jim Crow era, so like the 1940s, and they're in the South. I forgot what part of the South. I want to say it might be, I don't know if it's Georgia or Arkansas. Y'all correct me in comments, but I'm not really sure. If I remember, I'll put it up here somewhere. And yeah, so it's in the country, they deep in the South, and one day Perfect's mother tells her that she was born a boy. Yep, she was born a boy. So let's rewind. So Imogene is the mother of these 7 children, 6 boys and 1 little girl. But come to find out that Imogene has been keeping from her family that Perfect was born a boy. Now you ask yourself, like, okay, how was she able to keep this a secret? Now at this time, Perfect is 8 years old. Her older brothers have always thought, her older brothers and her father have always thought that she was a little girl because that's what they were told. So what happened during these times back then, if you didn't know, that a lot of men, when a woman was having a baby and like the midwife or whatever was helping her, or the doctor was helping her push the baby out, it wasn't really a lot of men in the room because, you know, back then they were very like, everything was so taboo and they were so private about everything, and the man should not be in a room with the woman while she's having a baby. Imogene like had 6 boys, and you know, as a mother, like, you may want girls, but you know, you don't want all these boys. You want a little girl that you could dress up and stuff like that. But her and her husband, they just kept having boys. And if you didn't know, the men are the ones that give out the gender of the baby. You know, it's biology and all that, whatever. But yeah, he make boys, all right? So she just wanted a little girl, and this time when she was pregnant, she was like, I just know this is a girl. I know this is a girl. I know this is a girl. So when her midwife took the baby out of her, it was another little boy. And Imogene, that's her name. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, her name is Imogene. She was just so disappointed. Her husband and her 6 other sons are waiting to meet their baby sister maybe, but they're not sure either. And she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna tell them that this is a little girl. They don't need to go. And the midwife is like, how are you gonna do that? You can't tell them that this is a little girl. Like, what's wrong with you? She was like, I could do what I want to do. She was just so dead set on having a little girl, and I get it. You got all these men in the house, you got all these penises in the house. You want a little girl in the house to dress up and, you know, do girly things with. The midwife was like, you know, I can't have you do this. And Imogene, I don't want to give too much of that part of the story away because it's a good big part of the story. She's like, you know, you can't tell me nothing, because if you tell on me, I'm gonna tell your secrets, so you better keep my secret. So the midwife, she kept her secret and never told anybody. So this whole time, her husband and her sons are thinking that this is a little girl. And now the way that she was able to keep the secret was, anytime anything had to do with Perfect, she would be the one doing it, like bath time, changing her clothes. Like, the father and the brothers never were in the room with her while she was nude or anything like that. So they were thinking that she was a little girl, and the mom grew out her hair and everything. One day, I forgot what kind of happened, but Perfect was with one of her brothers. And one of her brothers, each of the brothers, they have some special thing about them. Like one of the brothers could really sing really well. The other one was like a preacher. One of them was born blind. One of them was real big and buff. So each of them had a certain trait about them. And Perfect's really trait was that she was the only girl. One day she was with the brother that was blind. Somehow he had found out that Perfect had a penis. And he was just like flabbergasted, like, oh my god, girls don't have that. And Perfect never seen a vagina or anything. She's thinking like, oh, little girls have this extra thing. But she didn't know she was 8 years old. So the brother is like, oh, don't show nobody that. Don't show nobody that. And like, this is the 1940s. So homosexuality, it was very foreign to everybody. They thought it was bad. They thought it was a curse. It was a abomination, which it is not. But you know, back then, this is the type of mindset that they had. And they lived in the deep south. So you know it's even worse. They're black. And this something like this, it was so foreign to them. Perfect's older brother was telling him like, or her, don't tell anybody that you got that. And Perfect is like, all little girls got that. He like, no, they do not. And I think he pulled down his pants and showed Perfect where, and then she was confused because she knows her brother is a boy and he has the same thing as her. And it's like, why would he have the same thing too? So it was a whole big thing. Something happened where Imogene, their mother, was like, you know what? I'm going to start telling the truth and tell everybody that Perfect was born a boy. And now this book really deals with a lot of, I wrote it down, y'all. It deals with colorism, sexuality, gender, mental health, being a product of your environment. Because as you go through the book, you see the colorism because Imogene was a very dark-skinned woman and she had these sisters that were more fair-skinned because they had different fathers, and she's seen how she was treated differently from her sisters because of her dark skin and who her father was and all the traumas and stuff that her father and her mother went through in their relationship. And it just trickled down through the generations. You know, it's like kind of a generational curse, or like, you know, just a generational thing. So she had her own issues, and her mental issues came from her childhood, and it trickled down to her 7 children. And this psychological thing that she did with her child, making her child think that he was a girl for 8 years. And 8 years is a very, very long time to be one thing, and then you totally rip all that stuff away, everything that they've learned and developed, and then tell them there's something else. You know, that could really mess with somebody's mind. So that's what Imogene did. You know, one day she told Perfect like, you was born a boy, and Perfect didn't understand. And the way she went about it was crazy. I don't want to tell everything, but like, she just made Perfect, oh god, just, she literally flipped this boy's or this girl's life upside down. Well, when I call her Perfect, I'm gonna say girl, and then when I tell you the name change, because her mother wound up changing her name from Perfect, and like the father was very upset and all that. And he was like, yeah, if this is a little boy, we cannot call him Perfect anymore. It was just, oh my god, it was so much stuff. Like, I just can't go through everything. The father was so upset with the mom because all these years he didn't know, but I think his name is Glenn or something with a G. He was like one of the men that was like, I'm gonna treat boys like boys and I'm gonna treat girls like girls. So he was very hard on his sons. He wanted his sons to be men. He wanted them to be strong. He wanted them to be leaders. And then with his daughter, Perfect, he was treating her like a baby and giving her kisses and stuff. Like, he wouldn't kiss his sons. He wouldn't hug his sons. They didn't do that. They thought that was stuff that you would call like a sissy or something like that. You don't do that with your sons, but you could do that with your daughter. So when he found out that Perfect was a boy, he really felt some type of way, like, oh my god, like, I've been kissing and hugging on this little boy or whatever, and you had me thinking it was a boy, which I felt was weird of him. But you got to think of the times, because it's like, it don't matter. You could kiss and hug on your sons and it not be anything weird. This is how people was thinking back then in those days and stuff. So he had his own thing. And like, Glenn was the type of person, when he was very depressed and sad, he would go out to the river and he would go in the river. And I think that's something, if I'm not mistaken, that was done in the Bible or whatever. If you read the book, you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm like going like all over the place. Imogene told Perfect that he was a boy and renamed him Paul. So everybody was, all the sons were told, do not call him Perfect, call him Paul. for an 8-year-old, it's like, oh, I was doing all these girly things with my mom, you know, baking cakes and cooking and all type of stuff like that, while the boys was outside on the farm and doing all this stuff with the animals and changing the little hooves or whatever. And I was in the house with my mom and sewing dresses and stuff. And then you're outside with the boys, and it's like, I don't know how to be a boy because I've been a girl my whole life. And the family couldn't wrap their minds around that. Like, they expected when Perfect, or when Paul was a boy now, or considered a boy, that he was supposed to immediately jump into being a boy. But he doesn't know how to be a boy because he's been a girl his whole life. So like stuff that boys quote unquote usually do was he didn't understand, or he couldn't do, because it was one day they were supposed to pull him and the brother that was right above him, which I think his name was Mr. They were supposed to pull these heavy bags of manure or something in these bags, and Mr. is just pulling it and he's doing it fast, and Paul or Perfect is struggling because it's like, I've never done this before. And they're all like, why are you acting like that? Do it. Why are you not doing it? And he's just like, it's hard, like, I don't know. And they just didn't understand. And it was just like, oh my God, the psychological things that this boy had to go through from that point on is crazy, and it would really mess with your mental health. And little did he know is that his mother has went through so many things in her childhood, dealing with her mother and her mother's colorism between her and her sisters, and stuff trickling down is the reason why she did things with Perfect, because she wanted a girl so bad because her mother did not give her the love that she thought a little girl should get. So she wanted a girl so bad to show her mother that this is how you raise your daughter. It doesn't matter if she's dark skinned, light skinned, whatever, green, purple, anything, you treat her the same way as everybody else. And since she didn't get that girl, she wanted to make a girl, and that's what she did with Perfect. And it was just like, and all the things that's Perfect or Paul grows up, he has to go through, and people saying that he's like too feminine, and it's like, oh my God, I cannot help it. They thought they could beat it out of him, and they couldn't. This is who he is. But I feel like I blame his mother, because his mother, I don't want to say made him like that, but she did that to him, and now he has to deal with all this criticism from people. And then now people are looking at their family, they're looking at Imogene, they're looking at Glenn like, why would you do that to your child? And it's just so many things. And I just, oh, this book is it's so good, you guys. I really think you enjoy it. So that is my overall review on the book. I really loved it. I really liked how it was written. It felt like you were actually in the book. I tried to find other books from Daniel Black. I think he has another book. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm probably gonna pick it up because I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed his writing. I enjoyed all the topics and things that he touched on, because like, oh my God, a lot of that stuff is happening these days, and like, this is stuff people need to know about and get out of that mindset of just being scared of scared of things that you don't understand, you know. So I really enjoyed this book. I would definitely recommend you guys reading this, and it's by a Black author, so like, you know, I'm all for that, you know how I am on this channel. I'm gonna rate this book. I'm gonna give it 5 unicorns. Like, I really loved it. It was really good. I suggest everybody read this book. It was dope. Daniel Black, you did your thing, and I'm looking forward to reading more of your stuff. Alright, you guys, that is it for this video. I know, like, I haven't done a book review in a long time, but I have so many books that I have been reading and so many books that I have, and I'm not buying any more books. Like, I do not have any room for any more books, so I'm going to go through my personal library of books that I have read already and books that I haven't read already, because I have a lot of books that I haven't even read. They're just sitting here, so there's no point of keep buying books, even though I do a little bit, but you know, like, I'm trying to slow down, so I won't be having like a lot of hauls on my channel, but I probably would be doing more recommendations and stuff like that now, and book reviews. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to be friends on social media, all my social media is always down in the description. My Instagram is yoko.onacloud, and my business, House of Duwa, where I sell luxury, cruelty-free mink lashes and lip glosses and all this other stuff on there. You can check it out. It'll be all down in the description box. You guys, I hope you like this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.